wanna run away. I think I'll go back to that place I stay. Play on the server the TimeShot way.
Hello, people. It's Poet here back on TimeShot. Now, I do have donations and stuff to do. Several people donated games. Several people have donated money in streams and things like that. But I don't have the list in front of me, so I apologize. It'll have to be next time, maybe. I'm going to try to do a few episodes fairly quickly. And just get things rolling, like getting the donations out and getting that finished. But before I wanted to focus on that, I wanted to work on this wall. So this is one of the walls. That's obviously the other wall that we have not yet finished in our little donor hall here. And I don't know yet if I want to layer it out even more. I just can't decide on that. So what I mean by that is, like, right now it's one layer out. So there's the back wall. That's technically a layer. And then there's one layer out, which is like the stone bricks that you see. A second layer out would push it to right where my cursor is. Especially around the sides, I'm thinking. Which would then, you know, make it look less like a flat wall and more like, you know, something that's curved, right? Because if we back up, the problem that I have with this right now is that although I like the way that I've been doing the design, I did all this off camera. I've been working pretty diligently, doing it on this side and then going over and doing it on this side. And I think that I've done it the same on every side. You guys with your eagle eyes will probably see things that I've missed, like for example, I have a stair there. I do not have a stair right there. That's one that I just noticed, but things like that will happen. Wait, does that even make sense? Huh? Yeah, I'm missing a stair right there. So let's go actually place that right there before I forget. Should go right there. So as you can tell, even just by that, wait a minute. That doesn't look right. Huh? Wait, okay, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, and then a stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, and then a stair. Huh? Huh? The two sides are completely different? Is that what you're telling me? This is not what I wanted to hear. This pick is actually breaking too. I should either repair it or I don't even know. Did I get what? Oh, there it is, floating there. Come on. Waste not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, and then a stair. So it's placed right there. Can't reach that, apparently. Like that? No. That's not right. Is it right? It's right. That's the same. It's the same over there as I have over there. They're spaced differently by 1. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if I like that. Because then it closes off this pattern. Kind of, which I don't care for. So I've been working on this pattern. What I was going to do today is kind of just work on the bottom pattern. See if I can get that worked out, because we've done the top half, I would say. So this is up to half right there. We've done up to there. So now I have to figure out the bottom part. I'm not going to just mirror it. It's going to look sort of different. So I think the first thing that I wanted to do was dig out the bottom here, because we're going to have to put some blocks right up against the wall here. I don't want them floating with the wooden slabs. So I did have something to talk about today, though I can't remember for the life of me what that was going to be. It probably had something to do with... I sort of remember a talk that I was going to have. Whoop! I should really put a ladder there. Kind of forgot that I didn't have one. The bat noises are really irritating me. I wonder where those bats are. I wonder if they're in here. Like inside of here. Dare I even look? I'm breaking things. I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. It'd break things. It's breaking those kinds of things. But I bet that the bats are inside of here somewhere. Can we break this? I hear them. Those bats drive me nuts. Things like that drive me nuts. It's one of those pet peeves of mine in Minecraft, having those kinds of sounds. But anyway, I did have something to talk about. I kind of remember what I was going to say now. In that, what happened the other day, this is actually like a month ago now, but I was sort of shocked. I got followed by someone on Twitter, and I mean, this happens several times a day. Not to brag or anything, I'm just saying, like, it happens several times a day. So it's nothing new, nothing... I forgot there was no ladder on the other side. It was nothing new, but I don't know, something just made me click onto their profile. So someone followed me, and I usually don't go out of my way to see who it is. But something, I don't know what, just made me start following or start looking at their profile on Twitter. Like, just, I don't know what it was. Whatever. And when I did, that's when I noticed some of the content that they were making was not that favorable. 2, 3, 4. So let's go 3, 4, 5. Let's go up to here. And then sort of like that, maybe. And then what I'll do, I'm so getting distracted already. This is why I don't often talk and build at the same time. That's why I wanted to save things like this for when I'm live streaming and stuff. But either way, it has to get done. It just has to. So someone followed me on Twitter. Okay, that's what you guys know so far. I clicked on their profile for whatever reason. And what I found is that they were posting things that were rather insensitive. It wasn't even that they were bad, that they were bad things that they shouldn't be posting. You know, as I say many times, people are entitled to their opinion. But in this situation, in this case, I really didn't agree with the things that they were saying in their profile. Like, it was offensive to certain people out there. Let's say, to keep it completely anonymous, let's say it's people of a certain gender. And the person in question really did not like the people of that certain gender or something, or didn't believe that they should have the same rights as men. Okay, and I'm just, this is not exactly what happened. This is not what happened at all, actually. I'm just saying, like, let's use this as an example. And I don't agree with that, okay? So, like, yeah, you can relate. So, say you don't think that women deserve the same rights as men. Like that's a very old way of thinking. It's a very incorrect way of thinking. And I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw. And I guess what surprised me the most is that because I feel like maybe I've grown too accustomed to it, but I feel like I often what's the right way to say this? Like I feel like I do these talks on TimeShot, and that I try to portray myself as a certain way and having a certain way of thinking, and there's just this way about me that I feel like the people who follow me, for some reason, I don't know why I have this thought, and I know this is technically wrong, but I always feel like the people who follow me on Twitter or on YouTube or wherever, they should somehow, for some reason, have the same sort of thoughts and opinions as I do, or at least not be a complete and total jerk or ignorant about it. I think that's the real word that I'm looking for this whole time, is ignorant. I can't stand ignorance so much. Like, ignorance is one of those things where I feel like in this day and age, there's no reason to be ignorant. There's so many people in so many different mediums saying so many different things that to be ignorant is actually very difficult. So it's almost like someone is going out of their way to try to be ignorant. You know what I mean? So that's sort of where I'm coming from, in that there's no reason for it. There's no reason that you shouldn't know about other people's opinions and know what's right and know what's wrong. Let's see if that looks good. Nah. Need to fix that somehow. Oops. If you're wondering, I don't have a pattern in my head. This is not something that I've seen before. Maybe that's very, very obvious because it looks bad to you. I don't know. But I'm just kind of going with the flow. Building as I like. Maybe I could go like this. And then maybe like this. Need to get up there, I think. But anyway, I don't like that kind of ignorance. I like it when people have at least thought about things in life a little bit more than what their parents have taught them, or, you know, here's the thing. Here's the big thing, and this is a big problem, and this is why this was even a talk at all to me. Like I said, someone followed me on Twitter, I found out that their profile, they were posting a bunch of things, like ignorant things, opinions that most people don't have. And rather than acknowledge that they were wrong, because they got called out by someone. This is why it became a big issue. They got called out by someone on their Twitter. Someone basically saying to them, like, listen, that's a very insensitive thing for you to say. You should not say things like that. Instead of them saying, you know, thinking about it and either removing their post or maybe apologizing. They didn't apologize, and in fact, they kind of rubbed it in the other guy's face that their opinion was right, the other person's opinion was wrong, and that's just the way that it's gonna be, kind of attitude. And that bothered me a lot, because I've been in situations where I've had an opinion about something, and the people on the other side don't share the same opinion. And I've had to, like, eventually back down, you know, essentially just give up and say, listen, you know, I can't win this. Obviously, people have different opinions than what I've had. So I've just got to take a step back and I guess just reevaluate what I was saying. Because if other people have a different opinion of it, then maybe I don't know everything. I don't know. But it was just the attitude, you know, that this person had. Where someone asked them, like, or someone was trying to educate them. And even in the cases where I've been in these kinds of arguments, it's all about education. It often is. Where someone is just not educated about something, and you try to educate them about it, and it falls upon deaf ears. You know what I mean? Like, they cannot be educated about it, will not be educated about it. And that's part of the big problem. So someone goes and tries to educate this person about something, and it, again, falls upon deaf ears. And what do you do then, you know? There we go. That's looking all right, I guess. I kind of don't like this right here. All right. And then this shouldn't be curved at all like that. See, just I go by what looks nice in my own eyes. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. But this takes a very long time because I don't build this in creative. I know that other people on TimeShot almost exclusively build their stuff in creative and then transfer it. But I've never been like that. I don't like doing that. I think that's sort of it takes away from my fun in, you know, I find this fun. As weird as that is, the tearing down, stepping back. Look at it, figure out what it needs, figure out what you might have done wrong, maybe then put in a block, take a step back. Look at it, see what it needs, see what you've got done wrong, put a block. Take a look at it, you know, take a step back. And I just do this again and again and again. And I don't know, something about that I find really fun. I'm actually going to extend now something way up there. So let's go up, going up. Yeah, right to here. Actually running out of bricks. Okay, there we go. And that would be a good spot for one of these, I think. No, never mind that. But I'm going to actually leave it hollow like that. The spot for one of these would be like right here, because it's sort of symmetrical. But it can't go there because there would be no reason for it to go here. Now I'm wondering if I shouldn't have put this up one higher. And now I'm thinking I should. So I think I will. Of course I need those blocks. There we go. Yep. All right. So what I'm going to have to do is basically just curve it along here somehow. If you're wondering like how I'm going to tie all this together, the top and the bottom. It's really, oop, there's an invisible block there that I'll have to relog to see. Or I think you can sometimes fix it by placing. There we go. Yep, fixed it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Interesting pattern on the bottom. So what I have to do is figure out a way to tie in the sides, which shouldn't be too difficult. Mostly it's just going to be filling it in like this. It'll be straight up and down, which I think is the easiest way to combat design choices like this. So as an example. I kind of need to go back. But we need to fill in both, don't we? Yeah, that's the problem. So we just fill it in like that. Until we're out of blocks completely. But I guess where this talk, where I wanted it to go, essentially, was to say, like, I was just shocked at the fact that someone who follows me could have such a negative, because at the end of the day, often these opinions are the negative ones, and that's why they are perceived badly by people, and yet the people who are having these opinions don't realize that it's a negative opinion. Like, if you have an opinion out there, and I've said this so many times, I said this in Wynn's Q&A and stuff too, when asked similar questions, where if you have an opinion where it goes against someone else, whether it's because of your religion, whether it's because the way you were brought up, whether it's because, you know, it's just your personal choice, if you are having an opinion about someone else, then why even have that kind of opinion? You don't have a right to have that opinion. That's not the right way to say it. You do have a right to have that opinion, but you shouldn't. Like, that's as simple as I can put it. You just should not have that opinion. I need to go get another axe. Oh man, bad things spawning in there. Bad things. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna light it up back there yet. I'm also thinking of incorporating some gold. So there's lots of gold in this room and lots of this purple bluish block. And I'm actually thinking of possibly the whole background, what you see right now, might be blue. And then gold accents, just, you know, maybe replacing some of the stone brick that we've got. I also want to put more chiseled blocks. Like, I need to put chisel block there, chisel block there. More chiseled blocks in some of the stuff that we just did. I've got 26 of them, so that should be enough to do both sides. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. No. Yeah, I need to go get a new pick. That's what I was kind of going for. Let's see what we got for diamonds. What? Efficiency 4, I'm breaking 3, silk touch. Efficiency 5, I'm breaking 3, silk touch. So an efficiency 4 and an efficiency 5. 4 and 5. 5 one is actually better. Why don't I just swap them like that? Yeah, that'll work. Better get this on the bar. Oh, let me go see if I have any clay blocks. The blue clay. I might. I could probably make a lot. So I could actually do that. But that's kind of what I wanted to ultimately say in this whole conversation, because I've had this kind of talk before. I've said things like this on Wynn's Q&A, where you shouldn't have to say anything bad about other people. You should worry about yourself. But that's beside the point. Like, it's about educating yourself. Because a lot of the times it's just a lack of education why people don't understand things that they do. There we go. Stack? Should that be enough? No. There we go. Let's make 3 stacks. 3 stacks should be way more than enough. Right. And these aren't just the things that you need to learn in school type of educations, because schools can get it wrong. You know, I think back to a lot of the things that I was learning, even in the earliest of years. You got to realize that the teachers themselves are just normal people like you and I. Literally like you and I. A teacher's logical thinking is often not that different than our own logical thinking. The only difference is that they are a teacher and they've gone to school for education, to know how to educate people, to say things properly or create a schedule, or I don't know what education for education. Education for education? I don't know what education for education actually entails. So, I'm just saying what I imagine it is. But honestly, I remember back. I think back to when I was in school, and often some of the students would have questions, or I'd have questions, and you'd ask the teacher, and often they'd just kind of guess. The teacher would sometimes not know the answers. So a lot of the times the curriculum that they've developed, if it's not something very, very logical like math, which you can't just make up on the spot, it changed from person to person. And I'm even talking about broader subjects like biology. I remember there was this one teacher, and she was absolutely useless as far as like biology goes. And I remember sitting in the class, and a student would ask a question about something, about the whatever. Let's say the human body, ask a question about the lungs or something, okay? And she would give an answer that I would know to be not true. Like if you read just a single textbook on it, you'd know that she was wrong. But she would still make that kind of comment, and mislead people. And although I knew I was safe in that I knew that she was wrong and I could just ignore the stupid things she was saying, I kind of felt bad for the students who were listening who didn't know better, or couldn't know better. And I don't know. It's just, I know that the education system fails people a lot. It also depends on where they're from. So, ignorance isn't always the fault of the person themselves. Sometimes it is the education they've had or are getting. And that's a sad fact, But your education should not only come from those people out there who have decided to teach you things like that. It should come from yourself as well. Like the best kind of education you can get is the education you give yourself. You'll be more dedicated to it. You'll enjoy it more. And honestly, if there was a really, really good way for people to self-educate, I mean, our society might be way better for it. Imagine, if you will, Imagine a world where you could educate yourself on a subject that you enjoy, that you want to know more about. And you didn't have to worry about any other subjects unless you were also worried about them. So, okay, I want to become a person working at the zoo. Maybe I'll study zoology. Maybe I'll study, veterinary skills. And you could dedicate your life to that, learning those skills, learning what you need. Maybe learn how to handle animals and stuff like that. Like, you could focus on those things. Imagine a world where we could do that. All self-educated. You're passionate about it, so you go out and learn it. That would be so awesome, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Because, I think for me personally, I was a nerd when I was growing up. I fully admit it. I took computer programming in university, but I already knew most of what the professors and stuff were saying. And the things that I didn't know were disagreements mostly. Like, this is the way that we're going to have to program. This is the way that we're going to have to write the code. And I raise my hand and I say, well, I don't want to write it that way. You don't have to. Why are you forcing me to do that? Well, that's the way that we do it here. You know, that's kind of the attitude that I got. I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm just saying, like, I knew so much about it already because I was passionate about it and because I chose to go out and learn about it on my own. I was completely self-taught in computer programming. You look at most of the people who make Minecraft mods. Most of them are self-taught. They read a few wiki pages, maybe. They open up the code. They just dive right in. And then it's all about research, 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 research. But they're not ignorant about it. Like, if someone who didn't know how to program code went and started making a whole bunch of accusations and assumptions about what programming is, everybody who does know how to program would find them to be fairly ignorant, wouldn't they? How did that guy spawn in there? Oh, down there, I guess. Yup. That's kind of what I mean, is like someone who lives a life as a woman, let's say. Going back to my first example, just for argument's sake, if we're talking still about like women's rights, someone who lives their life as a woman will have a completely different perspective than someone who isn't a woman, you know? Or doesn't embody themselves as a woman. Like, this is the facts, is some people just know because they are. Other people know because it's their profession. If you're making assumptions about a certain group of people or making an opinion about them, it's because you're not educated in the way that they will be. And the crazy thing is, this is kind of where I wanted to go with this, is that there are things out there that you will never be educated in because you just won't be. You know what I mean? Like, I won't know what it's like to be a woman because I'm not, and I won't ever be. I don't know what it's like to be gay because I'm not, and I won't ever be. I don't know what it's like to be a black male in Southern America because I'm not, and I won't ever be. So my opinions on whether it's gender, whether it's sexual preference, whether it's race relations, etc., etc., they can only go so far, and they are very limited in what I know. My opinions will more than likely be wrong. But I think that if I take the time to listen to the concerns that they have, this is looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm liking this. This is looking all right. With the gold, that's going to look good. Purple and gold look great together, in my opinion. But, oh, that's going to look pretty good. Maybe a little bit more glass over on the sides. A little bit more light. This is looking great. Now I have to replicate it over here. Good luck, right? I better get, like, Optifine Zoom. I don't have Optifine right now. I don't have Forge even. Go all the way over. All the way over here, and then just, like, Optifine Zoom. Fix something. Optifine Zoom. Fix something, because it's just going to be so difficult. But that's how I did this one, so, you know, the circle, I mean. So, I better just suck it up and do it. But, yeah, that was my talk today, is essentially this person had an opinion that most people would think is insensitive. They didn't think there was anything wrong with their opinion because they didn't understand that there are things out there that they won't ever understand. They even got told by someone, listen, your opinion is insensitive. That hurts my feelings. And rather than saying, you know what, I'm sorry that it does, I feel bad about that, the fact that it hurt your feelings, maybe I should think about what I'm saying, or maybe at least keep my opinion to myself, they just kept going and kept starting to make it an attack. And that was really what I had a problem with, was the fact that they were attacking other people for trying to educate them on why their opinion was insensitive. At the end of the day, I actually ended up blocking that person on Twitter so that they could no longer follow me there. I know it's a very, very little punishment to do. What does that do at all? But I was just hoping that, the thing is, I don't want to be associated with them at all. That person that's insensitive and ignorant. I don't want to be associated with that person. They might even think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I just want to have them out of my life. And, because that's the thing, is that especially in the bigger YouTuber communities and stuff, when you get to a certain size, your fans start to personify who you are. It sounds crazy, but listen, we've all mocked Sky Does Minecraft fans. We've all done it. They are quick to anger, quick to judge you, quick to yell at you for saying anything bad. Nothing but vulgar language. Those are all things that Sky Does Minecraft fans do, right? Wrong. Of course that's wrong. But it's the generalized opinion about how they are. Don't get me started about how PewDiePie fans are, or about how Markiplier fans are, or you go even further into the drama stuff and about how those fans are, how destructive they can be. And of course it's all generalizations, but one person saying bad things, saying and doing bad things, can easily start giving people the opinion that your fans are all like that. And I know that that's unavoidable. Ultimately, if people are going to be bad apples, they're going to be bad apples. But I try my best to clean up the community. I try to moderate the comments. I get dozens and dozens and dozens of comments blocked in my blacklist of words every day on my channel. I delete them. I often ban people. If I see two people arguing in the comments that I've noticed, sometimes I'll go out of my way and ban both of them. Whether someone was just defending me, but the way that they were doing it by attacking someone else. I don't stand for that kind of stuff. I don't stand for the ignorance and insensitivity. So I try to clean it up as much as I can, and it just got me thinking, I guess, about how people should behave and what they should act. And it boggles my mind that a person who is a fan of mine, who's heard me have these exact same talks time and time and time again, would still be so much of a jerk to another human being out there that they didn't even know. I don't know. It's just, it bothered me. But that's where I'm going to end the episode, you guys. Heavy talk. Hope you guys liked the donor haul. I'm going to be maybe in the next episode catching up on all the donations that we've done, putting them in the haul. I want to say that even if you guys know the impending reset's happening, but even if we do the reset and I haven't verbally put your name down in the donor haul, your name will still be in there by the time the world download happens. And for sure your name will also be in the next donor haul that we end up making and doing and planning out, which is going to be a crazy thing. Can you imagine I have to rebuild? I won't rebuild this. If we go back down, speed this up, because this episode's over. I'm already at the like this video, comment below, do all those other awesome things people do section. I'm going back here now. But this haul is just incredible to me. This is one of the biggest things I've ever built in Minecraft. One of the most intricate things, with all the little blocks manually being placed down. Every single one of them thought out. Every little curve, every little slab, every little color thought out. Rooms like this, custom made. Every single name. It just means the world. This whole room was a work of passion and something I didn't think I'd ever finish. And now we're very, very close to finishing it. When this wall's done, I can replicate it over there, and it'll be finished. Finished. Imagine that. To do it again, it won't be something like this. I can tell you for a fact. Maybe it'll be bigger. Maybe it'll be simpler. I don't know. I have no idea yet. We're not there yet. But I can't wait. And you guys, your names will be there. No matter what. This huge homage to you. Every single one of these names will be there again. Every single one. Yikes! I have bad things spawning in this thing. Anyway, like I said before, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, and make your comments. Tell me what you think about people who you see being ignorant. How do you deal with it? Do you try to educate them? Do you try to educate them even if they're being resistant to that education? Do you give up? Do you start lashing out at them? What about those who are just completely insensitive and they don't even know that they are being insensitive? They don't even realize it, you know? What do you do with people like that? How do you get past that? Do you just wait for their generation to go away? I don't know. Tough questions to ask, but maybe you guys know some answers. Leave your comments below. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.